What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another transfer target video. Today we're going to be focusing on central attacking midfielders or attacking midfielders. We've got 6 names to go through, and let's start off with the one on everyone's lips, and that is James Maddison of Leicester. 55 million market value on transfer market, 26 years of age, and to be honest, I think this one will just fit like a glove.
Yeah, I think so. Only problem is he's a former Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan, which
the last one didn't work well, did it? Matt Doherty.
That works against him. But in terms of his position, the price, the quality you're getting, I think it's brilliant. I think he would work so well under Ange and for Spurs. I'd be delighted. I've been a big fan of him for a long time. Set pieces as well, which we haven't had a proper set piece taker for a long time. Can use both feet. A bit versatile. Can play on the right. Can play in the central position. It ticks all the boxes, really. The only slight reservation is his work rate off the ball isn't particularly fantastic. Maybe Ange will be able to get a different level out of him that he's been able to show at Leicester. But I think on the ball, there's very few players quality-wise who are better than him who would be able to get.
I actually think his work rate off the ball is a bit underrated, to be honest. I think he gets more of a bad rap than he should, to be honest. But I think his goal contributions speak for themselves in the last 2 years in a struggling Leicester side. Last year, 12 goals, 8 assists. This year, 10 goals, 9 assists. And especially this year in that Leicester team that went down, to get those numbers, you got to have some supreme talent. He comes in as well. He'll with the set pieces. You know, he's got brilliant set pieces with his corners and his shooting from long range. So I think James Maddison would be a great option for Spurs. And in terms of the price and what you're going to get him at, Leicester, I think, want about 60 million. But what do you think gets him? Like 45? Do you reckon that gets him?
Look, 1 year left on his contract. We all know he wants to leave. I think 45 million will probably be the price there and thereabouts, maybe with some add-ons on top of that.
All right, so that is James Maddison. Let's look at our next potential candidate, and that is Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace, 24 years of age, a market value of 30 million euros. And I think this guy is a top talent. I've been following him since his QPR days when we were linked with him then as well. And then Crystal Palace got him for a fairly modest fee for what he's worth now anyway. And look, I think he's got everything, this kid. I really do. And I actually think he would be more worthwhile signing than a James Maddison.
Yeah, I think he was really starting to explode under Roy Hodgson last season. Got 10 goals and 5 assists overall. His dribbling ability is probably better than James Maddison as well. So he has that on his on the up on Maddison. I think off the ball his work rate is very strong. He was a former winger as well, so he can still play on the wing. So he's a bit versatile. He knows he's very good in those one-on-one situations, and he's really starting to up his goal output with 10 goals last season. I don't think I know he got a similar amount of goals to Maddison last season, but I still don't believe he's as good in and around the penalty box just yet, shooting-wise, as Maddison is. But he still has a couple of years on Maddison, so he can maybe develop that a lot more as well. I think he's a top talent, and I think would do very well this game. I actually think it's going to cost a lot more than Maddison, though. Yeah,
I agree. As well as he doesn't have 1 year left in his contract. His team are still in the Premier League, and they've got a lot of young English talent, the Crystal Palace team, and I think it will take a very sizable fee to get him out of Crystal Palace, and I just don't think Spurs will go up to that fee. So I think they'll probably settle for a James Maddison at the fee that he's going to require, then push the boat out even more and get an Eberechi Eze through the door. Let's talk about Pedro Gonçalves next of Sporting Lisbon. Market value 32 million with transfer market, 24 years of age, and this guy's just a goal contribution machine really out in Portugal. The numbers absolutely speak for himself. I've got them here in front of me. In his first season at Sporting 2021, he got 23 goals and 3 assists in 32 games. Second year was a bit of a drop off, 8 goals and 9 assists in 27 games. Last year he got 15 goals and 11 assists in 33 games. He did come through the ranks at Wolves, albeit he didn't make a first team appearance there. He was there for a short amount of time, but I think this guy has got the potential to explode, and I think he would actually work well in the Premier League.
And he scored from the halfway line against Arsenal.
Exactly.
Right? So it doesn't hurt, that doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt either. So I think, the last goal contribution machine to come from Lisbon hasn't turned out too badly in Bruno Fernandes. So it does kind of show that it can be translatable, that kind of form. I think he's versatile as well. Can play on the wing, can play attacking midfield. Off the ball as well, his work rate is still very strong because he's played a number of games in central midfield for Sporting Lisbon, and he makes a good number of tackles as well per game. And he's still 24 years of age as well. I mean, this guy's really exploding. He's clearly shown that the Portuguese league right now, he's a level above that. He can definitely move on from that league with the goal contributions he's showing there. I, for one, I would really like him through the door. The only, obviously, drawback, there's always going to be reservations whether the form is truly translatable into the Premier League. But I guess you could argue, you saw against Arsenal, I know he scored from the halfway line, but he just had a very good game overall. So he just show he can compete at that level, and he had a very good campaign in the Europa League. So, there's very little downside. It depends how much he's going to cost. It's probably, I can't see it being too much more than what we'll pay for Maddison.
With the negotiations we had to go through with Sporting for Pedro Porro, do you think that will probably work against us in the Pedro Conchalves deal?
Yeah, potentially. Maybe they'll be angry at Levy for the way he likes to deal with things, so maybe that'll work against us. But if we could get a deal done there, we would have a real player on our hands.
Let's move on and let's talk about Lyon youngster Ryan Cherki. It says he's 24, but he's actually 19 years of age. He's got a market value of 27 million euros. He plays for Lyon at the moment. Only 4 goals and 6 assists this season, but he is a very young player, young talent coming through the ranks at Lyon. So what do you make out of him?
Yeah, 4 goals and 6 assists in 19 is very impressive, especially in top level football in the French league. He's an absolute dribbling king. He's done some of the best dribbling I've seen from a youngster in a very, very long time. I've been so impressed with him out in Liga, and obviously he's already started adding regular goal contributions to his game at 19 years of age. He's now he's first broken into the Lyon team. He's going to be a serious player in the future, in my opinion. Right now he's a good player already. And Lyon are having money troubles as well, so he might be able to get the fee down. So, there are very few 19-year-olds performing better than him right now in top-level football.
We just have to wait for Orlas to say that they're not selling him, and then we know we're onto something.
Exactly. Just say he's definitely not available and no one's agreed a fee, and then we'll know we probably signed him.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be a brilliant signing.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen much of him, to be honest, so I can't really comment, but his stats and the way fans are talking about him really do make him an exciting prospect, that's for sure. Let's talk about a player that I very much love, is Mohamed Kudus of Ajax. 30 million market value, 22 years of age. We all saw him at the World Cup for Ghana this year in the winter last year. And he's really kind of had a breakout season this year for Ajax, 11 goals, 3 assists. And I think this guy has supreme talent, versatile, can play out wide, can play in the middle, knows where the goal is, he's strong, he can dribble. I don't really know too many downsides of signing Mohamed Kudus, because I think he's going to be really onto bigger and better things sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I've been a massive fan with him, and especially the World Cup. He was absolutely brilliant for Ghana, wasn't he, the World Cup? So that was like a first insight into how good he can be on the big stage. And I think he's really kicked on for Ajax this season, and he's still only 22 years of age, and he's still very versatile. So I think there are very few downsides. I think maybe he doesn't have the guile potentially right now of like a Maddison, but he's 4 years younger than Maddison, and he's already starting to get regular goal contributions. He performed in the Champions League as well. He's playing really, really well at the moment, Kudus, and I think his versatility, he can maybe morph into a striker, can play on the wing, can play in attacking midfield. He's really good at dribbling. He's a fantastic player. The only problem is our bigger club's going to be circling around him. Probably, and it's probably going to be a hefty price, but he's a serious talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see him through the door, that's for sure. And last but not least, let's talk about Gio Reyna of Borussia Dortmund, the American star, 22 years of age. He's 20 years of age. 28 million pounds, euros is what his market value is on Transfer Market. This guy is like a bit of a Duracell bunny. He's got so much energy. He runs around the pitch. He's got an eye for a pass. He's a very creative player. I think he's a very good player, and he's ready to explode, to be honest.
Yeah, he's one which is interesting because he you could be said he has a few attitude problems with how the USA World Cup debacle kind of went down. He had to end up leaving after not getting any minutes, and he called out the coach publicly. But he clearly is a player of supreme talent. He's really broken into the team. Even at 17, he was playing for Dortmund and playing at a really good level. And I think I've seen him. I was watching the game where they lost the league, and he came off the bench and completely changed the game. And he was like a little firecracker in the centre of the park. At 20 years of age, he's still got so much room to grow. And I think he's a real talent as well. Maybe not as far along as maybe the other players on that list, but he definitely has the ability to get close to them.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think when you're looking at these 6 targets, I mean, it's so hard to rank these ones because there are such good players in this list.
I'd be happy with any of them, to be honest.
I agree. I would be happy with any of them. In terms of at the bottom, I don't know. I can't decide whether it's Gio Reyna or Cherki. I'll probably put one of those two at the bottom. I'll probably go for Cherki just because I know the least about him, to be honest.
I'll probably just side with Reyna, and then I'll go Cherki as number 5.
Yeah, I'll go Cherki number 6. I'll go Reyna number 5. You're going the other way. In terms of number 4, where are you going?
Oh man, number 4. I'll probably have to go Eze.
I'm going to go Maddison.
Really?
I'm going to go for Maddison at number 4. I just believe that with the ages of them all, with the talent that they're showing at the moment, I think the other players have the potential to be much bigger in the future than maybe a James Maddison.
Interesting. I'm just going to go for Eze just because at the moment I don't think he's far along, and I think the price you're paying is a lot. I think he's probably the most expensive player on that list.
Yeah.
And I think Kudus you can probably get for a bit cheaper, and he has similar qualities to Eze. So I'll put Kudus ahead of Eze, and I'll put Eze there.
Okay, so I'm going to go Maddison 4. You're going Eze in 4th. Number 3, you're saying Kudus.
I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go Maddison number 3.
Maddison number 3. So in 3, I'm going to go for Eze. I'll go for Eze at number 3. You're going for Maddison. At number 2, I'm going to go for Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah, me too.
And then Pedro Conchalves at number 1.
Yeah.
So we always get the same number 1, but everywhere else is a bit different. So my 6 is number 1, Pedro Conchalves, number 2, Mohamed Kudus, number 3, Eberechi Eze, number 4, James Maddison, number 5, Gio Reyna, and number 6, Ryan Cherki from Lyon.
And I'm going for Pedro Conchalves at number 1, number 2, Mohamed Kudus, number 3, James Maddison, number 4, Eberechi Eze, number 5, Cherki, and number 6, Gio Reyna.
All right, so there you have it. That is our 6 attacking midfielder targets. Let me know your 1 to 6 in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on